This is Rob Temple for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. Delighted, as always, to be joined here by Eddie Hearn. We're at the already pretty raucous KSI Logan 2 press conference. Eddie, never seen anything like this before.
Nor have I. I'm a bit nervous, actually. In fact, I was just backstage with people, and these guys are the expert to this market. You know, so I'm up there, I'm going, right, yeah, guys, what are we going to do? Right, and they're like, no, Eddie, this is how it should go. And I'm like, okay, so tonight I'm going to do the boring stuff, and then I'm going to pass over to a special guest who's going to basically run the presser, because last time I tried to run the presser and it was impossible. So, you know, I'm excited, and you saw outside they've been queuing since 9 o'clock this morning. I've never seen anything like this before, so this is bigger than boxing, but this time we get to incorporate it in boxing.
I think I kind of agree with that. I mean, I can't remember there being a boxing press conference similar to this. Can you remember in your time?
I think Mayweather-McGregor.
Yeah.
You know, it's the one where similar numbers, similar interest, and that was the biggest, you know, boxing event for a long time, numbers-wise. And this is, you know, this is a boxing event. We can't forget that. And there'll be people that want to say, but they're not really boxers, are they? Well, they're pro boxers now. They've got 10-ounce gloves on, no head guards. They're going to fight in front of 20,000 people at the Staples Centre. It's boxing. Plus there's World Championship boxing on the undercard. So I'm learning as I go here, Rob. I have to be honest with you, like, it's a completely different world, and it fascinates me because these guys are super bright. You know, and you get some people saying, they don't deserve this state. Mate, they've built this themselves. Do you know what I mean? They've built this themselves, you know? So it's not like I just phoned them up one day and said, lads, do you want to fight? They know what they're doing. They've built the biggest audiences out there, and all goes down November 9th.
Greeted by some news very recently that this will be on Sky Sports box office. Explain that decision.
Just from Sky, really. I mean, it's $9.99. Obviously, the last event was $9.99 as well. No real difference. Different audience. You know, we're just sorting out how the boxing fights are going to flow into that. Talk of putting Billy Joe Saunders on Sky Sports and then flowing into the event as well. That's all being structured at the moment. I know that fight fans are going to moan about the event, you know, but they're moaning about the event anyway. So I'm guessing fight fans, you don't want to watch this fight anyway. So it's the same model as it was last time. It's a pay-per-view event.
So with that being said, I mean, just sifting through kind of what you said, so there's a potential for Billy Joe to be just available on normal Sky Sports?
We're working that out at the moment. I don't really want to restrict, you know, there's two sides of this, isn't there? There's exposing Billy Joe and Devin Haney to this new huge audience, but we don't want to restrict that audience from in a boxing sense, do you know what I mean? So I want the boxing fans to watch this main event as well. So I think we need to give Billy Joe Saunders all the exposure we can on both sides of the Atlantic. So there's ongoing discussions with Sky about how that will be done. For me, I think that would probably be a Sky Sports main event, Billy Joe Saunders, and then leading into 1 or 2 fights, and then the main event on pay-per-view.
Was that always the case, or was that kind of because of some of the backlash from this, or was that always kind of the plan potentially to have Billy Joe box on a Sky Sports main event or a Devin Haney on a Sky Sports main event?
I mean, Billy Joe was always going to be main event, as in Sky Sports main event. Okay. And to be honest, like, that was before he was boxing on this card. So this card came through. I spoke to Sky. Obviously, last time, you know, these guys, they want to make as much money as they can out of this, so they look at all the potential models. It was either on Sky pay-per-view, or it was on YouTube pay-per-view, it was on ITV pay-per-view. Obviously, with my deal in place with Sky, that was the platform that we chose.
Where are we with Billy Joe's opponent? Emmanuel Marte is the name that's been bandied about?
No, I turned him down. I didn't think he was good enough, to be honest with you. I didn't think his record was good enough. It'll be tonight or first thing tomorrow morning, his opponent.
Somebody from the WBO top 15?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, moving away from this show, quite enjoyed that. I think the Sky Sports main event thing is good. Anyway, Ggg-Derevyanchenko this past weekend, very narrow victory over Ggg-Derevyanchenko. Talk to me about the fight. Amazing fight, one of the best fights I've seen live and up close. Thought Derevyanchenko was excellent. Watched the fight back. I think Ggg-Derevyanchenko won the fight. I mean, I know, like, on the night, sometimes people get drawn into this like underdog Cinderella story of the underdog who is eclipsed the clear favourite, and there's all of a sudden, and I think they sort of get taken away by that in the night. And probably the majority of the press row felt that Derevyanchenko won the fight by a round or something. Every score that anyone gave was like a round either way. I felt like
Golovkin won the 11th and 12th round, and that won him the fight by a round. So I felt like he deserved to win the fight. I thought Derevyanchenko was brilliant. Gennady had his struggles during the week. You know, he would never say it, but I said, I don't care, I'm going to fucking tell people, because, you know, you weren't well. So there's no shame in saying that. But also, you don't want to take away from the fact that Derevyanchenko was outstanding. And, you know, people say, oh, Gennady's getting old. Maybe he is getting old. Or maybe he had an off night, or maybe Derevyanchenko was brilliant. But tell you something now, there'll be a lot more people wanting to fight Gennady Golovkin. So that's a good thing.
You mentioned that people kind of talking about Gennady Golovkin potentially being or having seen better days in his career. You've caught Gennady, I think it's fair to say, at the back end of his career. Is there any part of you that kind of rightfully regrets not having him during the time when he was at his peak?
Of course, and by the way, I think there's lots more to come from Gennady Golovkin. But I've always been a massive fan of Gennady Golovkin, and I have to say, not brown-nosing him, he is one of the nicest, most credible guys with so much integrity you could ever meet. And I like the fact that he's being written off now, because I think he will need that. I think he knows. He said a few things in his quotes after, like, you know, I need to do more, which maybe tells me that maybe he didn't focus as much or train quite with the same intensity as he maybe thought he should have for this fight. So I like that. I like the fact that people are writing him off, and I believe he has a long, long way to go.
What does he have to do to tempt Canelo into a third fight? Canelo's come out and said he's just not interested.
Maybe have a fight like that. You know, I mean, look, the truth is the Zone will be doing everything they do to make Canelo against Triple G. So there'll be a lot of pressure on Canelo to make that fight. Now, after that performance, maybe he says, yeah, you know what, we'll just do it anyway. So we will see. But I believe, look, Gennady's got a lot of options. You know, there's a mandatory to take care of. There's Billy Joe Saunders. There's Demetrius Andrade unification. There's Callum Smith. So he doesn't have to. Murata is a great fight for him in Japan. So it's not like he has to fight Canelo, but he wants to fight Canelo because he wants to try and settle the score.
What do you make of the criticism of the undercard? Wasn't the most competitive undercard we've ever seen? A lot of 1 round, 2 round blowouts. What do you make of that?
I thought the main 2 fights were really entertaining. I thought Madrimov was fantastic, and I thought the Brancic fight was electric. I thought he was great. You know, when you've got a main event of that size, not everyone puts on big shows. This was my first time working with Gennady. I would have liked a better undercard, so would he. Sometimes it doesn't play out that way. But the guy fighting Ali Akhmedov went 10 rounds with Caleb Plant. Like, he was a durable guy. He got starched in the first round. That was a big kick in the nuts. So I thought the undercard was decent in Madrimov and Brancic. And I thought, you know, I mean, if the main event was poor, I think a lot more people would have been talking about the undercard. As it happens, it was one of the fights of the year. So,
where do we stand with October the 26th? Derek Chisora's opponent. We've got Shannon Briggs is over there shouting, "Let's go, champ!" What's going on?
Dillian White is here as well, and also Derek Chisora's opponent will be announced tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's about it. We've got a big queue of people behind us. Just final one. Are you signing Vidal Riley?
Signing him? There's not been discussions on that yet, no. You hear that? Oh, right, okay.
Just asking?
All right, yeah, possibly. Yeah, he's put it out. Yeah, I'm signing Vidal Riley. Yeah.
Eddie, thanks very much for Talking Boxing Social.